we live by our tribe. We exist in tribes, and we have a tribe of comedians, and we had it in Los Angeles, and I think we underestimated how important it was when we left. And one of the first things that I realized when we started doing shows out here, when we first started doing the Vulcan, was like, yeah, you need a place where everybody goes. Mm-hmm. And this is a kind of a weird one because everybody only goes while this show is on. And the green room setup is goofy. You got to go upstairs. There's a lot of weirdness to it. This is not ideal. But comedians need a place. Like, otherwise you're on your own. You're just out there alone by yourself. And then you call and you want to open up for me this weekend. And you go see that. And then the only time you're around comics is when you're working with them on the road.
Yeah.
Weird.
Right.
It's not good for you. We're too strange. We're too strange. Our sensibilities and what what's normal to us is too strange. And if you're around just like boring ass people,
norms,
especially norms that aren't interesting, you
right.
can't pick them. You can't pick your neighbors. Like, I have great neighbors, but I didn't pick them. I didn't have a fucking audition to see who could be my neighbor.
Right.
Like, but your friends, like, you pick your friends. And when your friends are comics, like we are so spoiled. We have just an abundance of fun.
Yeah,
so spoiled. So spoiled. Whenever Ron White does the road, he always comes back, I'm so fucking spoiled. He goes, I hated every minute of being in that green room.
God, I love Ron.
Well, he's the leader of the pack. Mm-hmm. He was the first reason I had considered Austin, and this was actually before the pandemic. I always loved it here, and On It was always here, so I was always visiting here. But when he was, I guess 2018, when he decided to get a place here, it was like, it's the center of the country. I could travel there from anywhere. My son's here. I fucking love it. It's beautiful, great food, nice people. I'm like, damn, can I live in Texas? Can I live in Austin? I'm like, that doesn't make any sense. I'm like, they have one club. It was like Cap City was on the way out. Now, I guess it was like 2019 when it really crumbled, right? It was like, Was it during COVID that it
right
crumbled?
At the beginning of COVID, I think.
So it still was there, but it was a weekend club, right? So you'd have your headliners would come in for the weekend. So like, when would I be able to do shows? Like, maybe I could do late night shows there, or maybe I could do like guest spots there, like maybe.
But you were also thinking, wasn't it Utah or something like that?
Yep.
Remember how bad that would have been?
Yeah, I thought about Utah, but with Utah, I thought about because I have a buddy who lives in Park City. I was like, maybe I get a place in Park City, and then I could just drive down to Wise Guys. Because Wise Guys in Salt Lake is the shit. That is a fucking great club. That's one of my favorite clubs to go to. And Salt Lake people are fun, man. They're fun. Like, people think, oh, the Mormons. Like, no, it's the people that aren't the Mormons that want to go out.
Right. Biggest whores, too.
And then the Mormons.
I mean, just ass sex everywhere for those guys.
Is that what the Mormons do?
Yeah. That doesn't count.
So when you're out in a place like that, if you're a comic, there's got to be a consideration, like, where could I go up? Like, Montana was like, there's no place.
Right.
I got nothing. It's like, apparently there's a little bit of a comedy scene in Bozeman now that might have started up like around the pandemic or slightly before the pandemic.
Can you imagine if you still lived in Denver, how liberal you would be?
Yeah,
you're
crazy. I would resist it. That's hilarious. You think I would just give into that nonsense?
Yeah. You'd be like a hippie and shit like that.
No, the hippies were already annoying me. That was only there for 4 months.
I know, you got the fuck out of there quick.